A very good evening to all the 11th standard students of St. John's. I know that you will be busy with your works, getting ready for the function, Diwali, maybe shopping, etc. But still, you need to spend some time with your subjects even in these kind of occasions, because it's your subject that will allow you to celebrate your life in a most spectacular way. So I'm not telling you that don't celebrate Diwali. Yes, you have to celebrate it even in this situation, but allot a particular time for your subject also. Don't forget your subject at any cost. And today we are going to start a new chapter. In the last class we have completed chapter number 5, binomial theorem, sequences and series. And we will pass on for the 6th chapter called two-dimensional analytical geometry, which is an important chapter, the continuation of which you will be even studying in 12th standard also. So we will see the basics in 11th standard. That again, the name of the topic is two-dimensional analytical geometry. And analytical geometry you are studying from your lower class onwards, from 9th, 10th also you are having the same topic. Just an advancement of what you have studied previously. We are going to see a little more deeper in 11th standard. Now in this particular class we are going to focus only on one particular topic called locus of a point. So we are going to see only one definition, and with this one definition we are going to see as many problems as possible in this class. So the name of the single definition is locus of a point. First we will see what is the meaning for this. The path traced by a moving point under certain conditions is called the locus of that point. Again I'll repeat. The path traced by a moving point under certain conditions is called the locus of that point. So locus is nothing but the path. Path traced by what? Path created by a moving point. Path created by a moving point with some conditions. So that path is called locus. The path is called locus of that particular point. The point will be moving with some conditions. The plural form of locus is given by loci, L-O-C-I, loci, which means plural. Locus means singular. So what is the meaning of locus? It is nothing but the path traced or path created by a moving point with some geometrical conditions. For example, suppose I am calculating the locus of this point. What happens? This point moves like this with some conditions, and if I join all the different positions of this point, I'll be getting a curve, right? I'll be getting a curve, and this curve is called locus. This is the path traced by that moving point. So at different times the points are at a different positions. At a different time the points are in different positions. So at different time interval the point will be at different positions. When we join those points we are going to get a curve, and that path is called as locus of that particular point. So always keep in your mind that locus means it is a path traced by a moving point. So with this definition only we are going to see few problems. Problem number 1. Find the locus of P if for all values of alpha, find the locus of the point P, if the condition is for all values of alpha, the coordinates of a moving point P is, so actually what is given in this question is the point moves and the general coordinate is given by 9 cos alpha, 9 sin alpha. So 9 cos alpha, 9 sin alpha, which is nothing but the general coordinate of the moving point. Now what will be the path traced by this point P? That is the question. Again I repeat, find the locus of P, which means we need to find the path traced by the point P. The condition is the general coordinate is given by 9 cos alpha, 9 sin alpha. So alpha differs means the point differs. So if the point is here, alpha will be different. If it is here, the alpha will be different. So general point was given to us. With this we need to calculate the locus of P. Locus of P means path created by the point P. So you just observe how we are doing this sum. First of all, we are taking that let h comma k be the moving point. Moving point means P. We are taking the point P as h comma k. So what happens? Automatically this becomes h and this becomes k, right or not? Because the general coordinate of P is given by this. Now we have taken the point P as h comma k. Therefore h is equal to first coordinate 9 cos alpha and y is equal to the second coordinate 9 sin alpha. Now what I am going to do is I am going to calculate cos alpha and sin alpha now. Bring this 9 to opposite side, h by 9 is equal to cos alpha. Bring this 9 to opposite side, k by 9 is equal to sin alpha. So now we have got one value for cos alpha and another value for sin alpha. What I need an equation for the path. What I need is nothing but the equation of the path, for which now I have got two values, cos alpha, sin alpha. Now we are going to go and seek the help of trigonometry. In trigonometry, even though we have not covered the topic trigonometry in 11th standard, but still you have studied it in your 10th standard and you know the basic formula. Cos square alpha plus sin square alpha. What is the answer? Can you guess? Cos square alpha plus sin square alpha is equal to 1. So we are going to use that condition here. Since we know sin alpha and cos alpha, and also we know the formula of cos square alpha plus sin square alpha is equal to 1. Cos square alpha plus sin square alpha equal to 1. This is the basic trigonometric formula. So with this help of this formula, we are going to create the equation now. So the next line is, I am going to write the formula and substitute the values. Cos alpha means what I have to do? I can write h by 9. Sin alpha means I can replace it by k by 9. So first we are going to write the formula now. So listen, we know that, what is this? We know that this is the formula that we know in trigonometry, cos square alpha plus sin square alpha equal to 1. So cos alpha is h by 9, so squaring it h square by 81. Sin alpha value is k by 9, squaring k square by 81 equal to 1. Taking LCM you will get this step, right? LCM is 81, so that will get cross multiplied. So this is the equation. What we have to do is, the locus is, just we have to replace h by x and k by y. Because it is the general point, right? H comma k is the general point. Locus means we need to convert that in terms of x and y. So the locus is x square plus y square is equal to 81. So this is the equation of the path traced by the point. So locus means what? Find the locus means what? We need to find one equation. What is that equation represents? The path traced by a moving point. The moving point, wherever it moves, if we connect, we will get a diagram now. That diagram's equation is what we are going to find in terms of locus. Locus is nothing but that meaning. Problem number 2. Find the locus of a point P that moves at a constant distance of 2 units from the x-axis. Now you can just read the question once again and try to understand the meaning of the question. We need to find the locus of a point P. So this point will move, right? P that moves. How it moves? at a constant distance of 2 units from the x-axis. So through a diagram we will try to analyze this. Suppose, imagine that this is x-axis and y-axis. Suppose this is x-axis and this is y-axis. What the point does, suppose if this is the point P and this distance is nothing but 2 units. The distance from x-axis is 2 units. The point P moves at a constant distance of 2 units. So which means the point is moving like this. Wherever we measure, the distance will be same, 2 units. Try to understand the meaning. Even if I measure the length, the distance between the point and x-axis, again it will be 2 units. So 2 units. Like that the point moves. So from the given condition, it is clear that the point will move in a straight line. Yes or no? Just understand the question in diagram. According to the statement given, if we see that in the diagram, the point P should move in a straight line and it is also parallel to x-axis. Yes or no? We know very well any line parallel to x-axis, the equation is given as y is equal to constant. Studied in 10th standard this. Any line parallel to x-axis. How to write the equation? Y is equal to constant. What is that constant here? The distance 2. So the answer is equation of this line or equation of the locus. The locus is given by y is equal to 2. Try to understand why I am telling y is equal to 2, because from the diagram clearly we know that the point moves in a straight line and it is parallel to x-axis. Any line parallel to x-axis, its equation is of the form y is equal to constant k. Here the constant k is nothing but 2 units. Therefore, the equation of a line, this is the line, the equation of the line at a distance of 2 units from x-axis is given by y is equal to, in place of k we are writing 2. So try to understand how the answer comes. Going for problem number 3. If theta is a parameter, find the equation of the locus of a moving point whose coordinates are x is equal to a cos cube theta, comma y is equal to a sin cube theta. I'll repeat. If theta is a parameter means which changes. Find the equation of the locus of a moving point whose coordinates are, so a point moves, the general coordinates are given by x is equal to a cos cube theta, y is equal to a sin cube theta. So how we are going to find the locus now? Just listen. Yeah, in the answer first we are taking the general point, x is equal to a cos cube theta, y is equal to a sin cube theta. From this I am going to calculate cos theta. How means, first bring this a to left hand side, becomes division. Cos cube theta will remain in the right hand side. Bring this power 3 to other side, it will reciprocate, so 3 becomes 1 by 3. We're able to understand? The power 3 goes to other side, becomes reciprocal, so it becomes x by a power 1 by 3. Same way, bringing a to other side, power 3 to other side, so sin theta will be equal to y by a power 1 by 3. So now what values we got? Cos theta value and sin theta value. Even we have seen a same type of problem before also. Cos alpha, sin alpha. So when we know cos theta and sin theta, immediately we will go for trigonometric help. What is the formula that we know? Cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to 1. There we wrote cos square alpha plus sin square alpha equal to 1. Since theta is present here, we are just adjusting the formula as cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1. Why we are writing this? Because we can substitute the value. Cos theta value we know. We need to square it. If I square this 1 will become 2, right? 2 by 3 plus sin square theta, which means I should square this. So this becomes 2 by 3 equal to 1. So even I can say this is the answer, or even I can take LCM and tell the answer. If power 2 by 3 comes to both the terms, what will happen? X power 2 by 3 by a power 2 by 3 plus y power 2 by 3 by a power 2 by 3 equal to 1. Denominator, if you see, a power 2 by 3 same, so that can be cross multiplied also. So either you can leave it here itself, bring the power inside and take the LCM. If you do like that, the answer will be x power 2 by 3 plus y power 2 by 3 equal to a power 2 by 3, because of denominators are same, a power 2 by 3. So I am going to show you the simplified answer, or even you can stop there. The simplified answer is, so the simplified answer is this. Even you can stop at the previous line also, or by taking LCM we will get this answer. Question number 4. Find the value of k and b if the points p of minus 3 comma 1 and q of 2 comma b, this is b, this is also b, don't think it is 6, 2 comma b lie on the locus of x square minus 5x plus ky equal to 0. Now comparing with the previous problems, this is very simple because the locus equation is given to us. Usually we will try to find out this, but they have given the locus equation. What they are asking is find k value and b value if these 2 points lie on this locus. Hope you will understand. We need to find k value and b value if these 2 points lies on this equation. Find out k and b. So what we will do, first we will write this equation. Give this as number 1, first equation. First you take this point p of minus 3 comma 1, this point lie on the above curve, above equation. Yes or no? Minus 3 comma 1 lies on this locus. That is what is written here. So I can substitute the point in this equation. Minus 3 whole square becomes 9. Again minus 3 if you substitute, plus 15. In place of y 1, so only k remains, equal to 0. 9 plus 15, 24, goes to other side, k value is minus 24. So once we found out k, still we need to find out what? B value. For that use the second equation, second point. Q of 2 comma b, this is b, lie on first equation, that is the locus. So when we substitute, x place you put 2 becomes 4. Y place, in x place put 2, 5 into 2 minus 10. In y place you put b plus bk or kb equal to 0. You know very well, 4 minus 10 minus 6 goes to other side, becomes plus 6. K value is minus 24. Substitute that, cancel this, 4 will come, bring this to other side, minus 1 by 4 is the answer for b. This is very simple, just substituting the point in the equation and finding out the values. Problem number 5. A straight rod of length 8 units slides with its ends A and B always on x and y axis respectively. Find the locus of the midpoint of the line segment AB. A straight rod of length 8 units slides with its ends A and B. So this is one end A, other end is B. The rod length is 8 units. It slides such that the ends A and B always on x-axis and y-axis respectively. Now find the locus of the midpoint of the line segment AB. So we will see the explanation of this question using the diagram. So the explanation we will see in this diagram. If you see, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. And this is the rod. The rod's length is 8 units. It is given in the question. 8 units is nothing but the length of the rod. What this rod does is, it slides such that it is always, the end points are always on x-axis, on y-axis. Just try to understand the meaning of the question. If this is the rod, it slides like this, but always the end points are at where? X-axis and y-axis. They are asking us to find the locus of the midpoint. What is midpoint? The center point of A and B is called midpoint of the rod. Definitely the midpoint will move, because what is the reason? The rod slides. When it slides here, the midpoint may be at some other position. When it slides again, as it slides, keeps on sliding, this midpoint will go in a various positions. They are asking us to find what is the locus of that midpoint. The midpoint will go in a different positions, no? When we connect all those points, we will get a path. What is the equation of the path? That is the question. So what we are going to do is, we have drawn the diagram, x-axis, y-axis. This is the rod, length is 8 units, M is the midpoint. Clearly the point A is on x-axis, right? So the point, the x-coordinate will have some value that I have taken as A. Since this point lies on x-axis, y value becomes 0, A comma 0. In the same way, this point lies on y-axis, therefore x value will become 0. Y value will be some number is taken as B. Here A comma 0, 0 comma B. X-axis it lies, so y value 0. The point lies on y-axis, so x value is 0. Try to understand. Since M is the midpoint, you know very well the midpoint formula is, I'll be writing midpoint formula here, x1 plus x2 by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 by 2 is nothing but what? Midpoint formula. So using this midpoint formula, if I add this, x1 plus x2 means a plus 0, a by 2. Similarly, y1 plus y2, 0 plus b by 2, so b by 2. So M value, the coordinates of M is given by a by 2, comma b by 2 using midpoint formula. Since we need to find the locus of M, we will take this as, the moving point is taken as h comma k. So h is equal to the first coordinate a by 2, this is a by 2, k is b by 2. So by using the diagram itself, now we found out what is h and what is k. Now again using the diagram by Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square AB square is equal to other sides square, sum of squares of other two sides, OA square plus OB square. So this is Pythagoras theorem. AB means this length, that is length of the rod is 8 units, 8 square is 64. OA square, this length is written as small a, so squaring a square. OB square, this length is written as small b, so small b square. What is a? A is, if I cross multiply, a is 2h, right? So substitute 2h in place of a. If I cross multiply, b is equal to 2k, substitute that here. So this becomes 4h square plus 4k square equal to 64. Cancelling with 4 table, h square plus k square is equal to 16. So this is the equation. If we want the locus, we will convert h to x and k to y, right? X square plus y square equal to 16 is nothing but locus of this point M. I think you will understand. Going to the next problem. Problem number 6. Find the equation of the locus of a point such that the sum of squares of the distance from the points 3, 5, 1, minus 1 is equal to 20. I think I have read the question faster. I'll read it slowly once again. Find the equation of the locus of a point such that the sum of squares of the distance from the points 3, 5, 1, minus 1 is equal to 20. Now we will see the explanation through the diagram. This is a point A, this is point B. They have given the coordinates 3, 5, 1, minus 1. We need to find the locus of this point P. This point moves. It will move such that the sum of the squares of the distance, that is PA square plus PB square, that is called sum of squares of the distance, PA square plus PB square, is always equal to 20. So clearly the moving point is taken as h, k. A and B are the points given to us. The condition given is the squares of the distance, PA square plus PB square is 20. So with this condition, we are going to find the equation of locus. You know what is distance formula, right? Square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, right? Here, if I take these 2 points, what is x2 minus x1? H minus 3 whole square plus k minus 5 whole square. Yes or no? Similarly, for these two, h minus 1 whole square plus k plus 1 whole square. Using distance formula, we are going to write the answer for PA square and PB square now. So what I said, I have written here x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Similarly, plus this is PB square. So this is PA square, this is PB square equal to 20. Expanding in a minus b whole square, expanding in a minus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a plus b whole square, h square terms collecting and adding the like terms, h square, k square, h, k numbers are all written in order. You just see and simplify, and divide. Everything is in divisibles of multiples of 2, so divide by 2 and write this step. So this is the final equation. Locus means we have to change h to x and k to y. So x square plus y square minus 4x plus minus 4y plus 8 equal to 0 is the locus. Here one thing we have to know is the distance formula. Distance formula PA means root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. If it is PA square, then root will go. Only x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square will come. That is why I have not written the root here, because square is there. Going for the seventh sum. If p of 2 comma minus 7 is a given point and q is a point on this curve, then find the equations of locus of midpoint of PQ. Again we'll go for the diagram. This is PQ, where the point P is given 2 comma minus 7. Q, what they are telling about Q? Q is a point on this curve. You imagine that 2x square plus 9y square equal to 18 is nothing but this curve. And Q is the point which lies on that curve. So Q is a point which lies on this curve. What they are asking, find the equation of locus of midpoint of PQ. So PQ midpoint is taken as M. We need to find the locus of this. That is the meaning. So P 2 comma minus 7, it is given in the question. M, this is the locus that we need to find. So we will take that as H comma K. Q, we don't know what is Q. So generally we are taking it as A comma B. But still M is what? Midpoint. So what is midpoint formula? x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. So if I write the answer for P 2 comma minus 7, answer for Q A comma B. So apply x1 plus x2 by 2, 2 plus A by 2 minus 7 plus B by 2, right? What is M actually? H comma K. So I can take this as H and this as K. So H is equal to this, K equal to this. Cross multiply 2H minus 2, that is A value, 2K plus 7 is B value. Yes or no? Now I am writing A comma B lies on the curve. This A comma B, the point Q lies on this curve, and this curve equation is given by 2x square plus 9y square equal to 18. So I can substitute the point in this equation. It becomes 2a square. In place of x you put a, in place of y you put b. So 2a square plus 9b square is equal to 18. Implies 2 into a means what? 2h minus 2, substitute. B means 2k plus 7, substitute. Expand in a minus b and a plus b whole square formulas. Bring inside and simplify and get the equation. I think simplification you can see and understand and even practice by yourself. So the simplification is this. These are all nothing but expanding in a minus b and a plus b whole square formulas, arranging. Finally locus means h is replaced by x, k is replaced by y, and writing the answer. Going for the next sum, question number 8. If the points P 6, 2 and Q minus 2, 1 and R are the vertices of a triangle PQR. So this is the triangle PQR. Point P is given 6, 2, Q is given minus 2, 1. R is not given, so we have taken R is the point on the locus of this. So this equation represents this curve and the point R lies on that curve. That is the meaning. In fact, same as in the previous problem. The point R lies on this curve. So this is the curve. The point R lies on that. PQR forms a triangle. Since we don't know this, we are taking it as a comma b. What is the question? Find the equation of locus of centroid. So locus of centroid we need to find. So PQR, all the vertices I am writing here. Centroid we don't know, that is, but we want locus of centroid, so that is taken as h comma k. Centroid is taken as h comma k because this is the moving point. So what is the formula for centroid? H comma k is equal to, what is the formula for centroid? x1 plus x2 by, I'll write the formula here. Centroid is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, comma y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. This is the formula for centroid. So apply that formula. 6 minus 2 plus a by 3, 2 plus 1 plus b by 3. So h is taken as the first point, that is 4 plus a by 3. Cross multiply and find out the a value. K is taken as second point, 3 plus b by 3. Cross multiply and find out b value. So a value and b value we know. Now clearly the point R lies on this curve, right? Point R is a comma b, lies on this curve. So I can substitute a comma b in this equation. That is what is the next line. Now see, that is what I am writing here. The point R lies on this curve. So substitute a and b in this equation. We are getting like this. So 3k minus 3 is, b means 3k minus 3, a means 3h minus 4, a means 3h minus 4. So simplifying this, we get one equation. Locus means replace h by x, k by y, and write the answer. This is the required locus. So simplification I am not explaining because a minus b whole square, multiplication, that's all. You refer this by yourself and understand. Problem number 9. Sum of the distance of a moving point from these 2 points is always 10 units. Find the equation of locus of the moving point. So again I will be repeating, explaining the question with this help of 3 points. This is the moving point P, H, K. These are the 2 points given. The condition is, it's the distance of moving point from these 2 points is always 10. If I calculate this distance and calculate this distance and add it, the answer is always 10. That is PA plus PB is always equal to 10. So with this condition we have to find the locus. PA means what? Distance between these 2 points. What is the formula? Square root of x2 minus x1, so h plus 4, y2 minus y1, k minus 0 whole square, plus PB, distance between these 2 points, h minus 4 whole square plus k minus 0 whole square equal to 10, right? Root is here. This term is taken to other side and becomes minus. Now squaring, we are going to cancel the root and here it will be whole square. That is the next step. So squaring, the root gets cancelled here and here it becomes a minus b whole square. So a square plus b square minus 2ab, the formula. Expand this in a plus b whole square and here it becomes what?